Good evening, everyone. My name is Sam Silverman. I'm one of the band directors here at Park City High School, along with Zach Giddings. This is the Intro to Jazz class. This class has come a long way since the start of the school year. They started in a pretty good spot and are now even better. It's called Intro to Jazz, but I'm starting to think that this should not be the title of the class. They play well. We're making immense progress every single day. I'm playing some pretty challenging stuff that's not usually suited for a beginner type class. So yeah, with that said, we're going to start with In the Mood, the Glenn Miller tune. Hope you enjoy. So again, that was In the Mood, the classic Glenn Miller tune. This next one we're going to play is an arrangement of a Count Basie tune called Jive at 5. Hope you enjoy. So one of my favorite parts about teaching this group is the willingness to improvise from everybody. So far tonight, we've heard from Jazzy Christopherson on tenor sax, Aiden Sams on alto sax, Henry Rice on trumpet, Quinlan Grady on trumpet, and Oliver Abbott on trumpet, as well as Aiden Lone on trombone. We'll hear from Tyler Merriman here in just a second. But that's a large number of kids for an introductory class who are willing to just go for it, which is awesome. The other group I'd like to thank for making this all possible is our parents and our school community. None of this would be possible without the support that we have from parents. We're constantly getting emails asking, what parents can do to support their students, to support the program, which is something that's incredible and makes this a really great place to teach and make music in. So thank you, parents, for all you do to support your students. Yeah, round of applause for that. This last tune we're going to play is Alligator Boogaloo. It's my favorite of the three, and we hope you enjoy it. We've enjoyed putting it together. Once again, our Intro to Jazz class. Let's give them one more round of applause. Just really quick before we exit the stage, this is my first concert at Park City, so thank you again, parents, and thank you, students, for such an easy, welcoming experience as I transition into a new school. Everybody here has been absolutely awesome, so thanks again.
Hey, good evening at this point. Let's give a round of applause to our intro jazz band for all they've done. Yeah, I have to tell you, I've loved teaching with Mr. Silverman. I think he is a fantastic educator. I think he is a wonderful human. And watching what he's done with the Intro to Jazz Band has gotten me really excited for the future of our jazz program here in Park City. So thank you, Mr. Silverman. Wonderful work to you. Yeah, give him a round of applause. Yeah, welcome him. Yeah. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. This is our JV Jazz Band. We're going to start with a classic called Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Yeah, you got to admit, that one's really fun. Give them another round of applause for that. All right, so this again is our JV jazz band. So if you do not know, we have 3 levels of jazz band here in Park City. So we have our intro to jazz band, that is mostly freshmen. This ensemble is almost exclusively 10th graders. And if you're sitting here thinking, wow, those kids sound amazing, you are right. They have had wonderful instruction for the last few years under Mr. Taylor at our Ecker Hill Jazz Band. And in fact, I think this JV jazz band is doing amazing work because of the fact that we've had a jazz band at Ecker Hill for a few years. So let's give a round of applause for these kids and all the work they've done the last few years. Yeah, all right, we're going to go ahead and get started. I mean, dude, these lights are very bright. It's not a bad thing, but these lights are very bright. I'm like, where are the people? Is there an audience? I can't tell. Oh, there they are. Okay. All right, we're going to get started. We are going to actually feature our lead alto. So this is Zeke Rush. He is playing, oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay, we're going to be doing As Always. Here we go. Yeah, if I'm honest, I think one of the most gratifying things about being a teacher here in Park City is seeing how much these kids improve from year to year. And it's 100% because of outstanding parents who support their kid. And I just hope what we are doing here in the band room in Park City is supporting what you are doing at home. One of my favorite things about teaching, so I've been at Edgar Hill Middle School for the last few years, and the fact that I get to watch Zeke Rush, who I remember as a 6th grader, and I remember as a 7th grader, and now here he is as a 10th grader making music like that. Let's give him another round of applause for all of his work. All right, well, let's liven up the space a little bit. We're going to play another piece called Critical Mess by Jeff Jarvis. All right, to end out JV Jazz's set, it would not be a really awesome jazz concert without some great swing music and some great improv. Jazz is all about improvisation, and every solo you're hearing tonight, these kids are playing with chord changes, they're improvising on the fly. So let's give all the kids a round of applause. We've got one more tune with this group, and it's called Swing Thing. We're going to feature several soloists. We have Peyton Bullitt on the tenor saxophone. We have, oh my gosh, I'm trying to remember who all. We have Jose Becerra on the trombone, and we have Zeke. Oh, we must really like Jose. That's cool. All right, and then we are also going to do, we've got Zeke doing one more solo on saxophone. So this is Swing Thing. Let's give JV Jazz one final round of applause on a fantastic fall concert. It is hard to believe that these kids put this music together in less than, I think it's only been like, what, 6 weeks, 7 weeks? So that is awesome. We have wonderful kids with wonderful work ethic. Again, I hope we are supporting what you are doing at home. We are teaching your kids the value of hard work, the value of delayed gratification, that success comes from small gains every single day. Our goal as teachers is to support you as parents, so we hope we are doing that. Can you give yourselves a round of applause for being an amazing community? I know it's weird, but like, give yourselves a round of applause. In true like adult fashion, you're all like, no, I support the kids more than myself. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started with our varsity jazz band. I'm gonna let them warm up a little bit, and then we're gonna start off with a tune called Chronometry by Fred Sturm. Test, test. Oh, that was really loud. Okay, that is a fun one. Let's give them another round of applause for Chronometry by Fred Sturm. Yeah, one thing we try to do here with the Varsity Jazz Band in Park City is we want to make sure our kids are exposed to professional literature. This is not the kind of piece that your average high school band gets to play, especially at a fall concert. And the fact that we got to play something written by the former professor of University of North Texas's 1 O'Clock Jazz Band is just unreal. So let's give the kids another round of applause for all their work. This next one is so much fun, but before we do that, I need to make sure I thank some people in the back. We've got a fantastic sound crew here at the Eccles Center who make sure these kids sound good, they look good. Can we give a round of applause for all of our workers here at the Eccles Center? Yeah, these concerts don't go well without good people, and I'm going to tell you, like, they have saved my butt multiple times today, so we got to make sure we thank them. Whoever you can email to be like, hey, the Eccles Center, they're cool people, do it. So email all the admin and be like, we love the Eccles Center, because we do. Jason back there, you're my favorite, but don't tell the others. All right, we're going to get started with Jazz Police. Yeah, we've had a lot of really cool soloists on the last two tunes. So on Chronometry, we featured Jack Rush and Owen Smythe, both on tenor saxophone. Let's give them a round of applause. Oh, and Chase Coford on guitar. Let's give all three of them a round of applause. All right. Oh, wait, who else? No, that was for Chronometry. They were yelling out another name. On Jazz Police, we can listen. Okay. On Jazz Police, we have Henry Armentrout on the alto sax. We have Jack Rush on tenor sax, Owen Smythe on bari sax, and then we feature Chase again on the guitar. So let's give them a round of applause. All right, this next tune, we have to go back and we have to go to the origins of jazz, and we have to, I think it's really important that part of a great jazz curriculum is learning the history of the music. So we taught the kids an Ellington tune called Second Line. We're gonna feature several soloists. We have Henry Nagel on the clarinet. We are also going to be featuring, who else? Ryder Reese on the trumpet. We have Tanner Antonori on trombone. We have Tyler Merriman on trombone. So I hope you enjoy Second Line by Duke Ellington. Oh, that was fun. All right, we have Henry Nagel on the clarinet. We had Tanner Antonori on the trombone, Tyler Merriman on the trombone, and Ryder Mauricio on the trumpet. Let's give all our soloists another round of applause. All right, now we do have another tune for you. We have 3 more. This next one, we're going to feature one of our outstanding vocalists in our program. She's also a wonderful percussionist. So I'm going to welcome to the stage a fabulous human, Kat Jones. Let's give her a round of applause.
All of me, why not take all of me? Can't you see I'm no good without you? Take my lips, I wanna lose them. Take my arms, I'll never use them. Your goodbye left me with eyes that cry. How can I go on, dear, without you? You took the part that once held my heart, so why not take all of me? Your goodbye left me with eyes that cry. How can I go on, dear, without you? You took the part that once held my heart, so why not take all of me?
Now, again, it is so cool to see what these kids are able to accomplish. And even cooler is to see that they wake up for 6:30 a.m. jazz band, which if you have ever said, my kid cannot do that, let me tell you, these kids, they show up, they work hard. Again, we are teaching them that hard work really will achieve success. So let's give these kids another round of applause, because that is early. Yeah, I had to laugh because the other day, teacher's like, "How do you get here that early in the morning?" I'm like, "I don't know. Like a lot of caffeine. I don't know. It's hard for me. So if it's hard for me, and I'm like a functional adult, I can only imagine how hard it is for the kids." So it is really awesome that they are willing to wake up early, get the work done. And thank you again for all that you do as parents. And in fact, if you are loving what you're seeing our program do, and you're loving how the jazz band is sounding, if you're loving the progress you're seeing from intro to JV to varsity, which again, the coolest thing is watching those intro kids and knowing those kids are going to be the varsity jazz band in a few years. That's really cool. And looking, like I was telling JV this the other day, like you are probably the varsity kids next year. And that was a really cool moment to know that we have this amazing legacy. For those of you that don't know, we had an amazing teacher here for over 30 years, Mr. Chris Taylor. He was amazing, one of my mentors. Yeah, give him a round of applause. He's not here, but give him a round of applause. Yeah, and like even when I was a high school student, I remember being a student at Timview High, and we would literally drive up to Park City to watch varsity jazz concerts. That's the kind of legacy he created, and seeing this band inherit that and say, we're gonna do the work, and watching JV say, we're gonna inherit this, we're gonna do the work, and watching Intro do the same thing, we see what this program is and how meaningful it is to the community. I mean, we had the jazz band perform at the Red Apple Gala the other day, and you would be amazed seeing all of these adults who don't even know these kids high-fiving them and like fist bumping them, and they love what this band does for the community, and we love letting them perform for the community. So if you love it, please email our incredibly supportive admin. I've taught in other districts, and I've never felt so loved and supported by principals, by district admin. I will tell you, the new superintendent, Lindsay Huntsman, her support for the music program is incredible. And Mr. Fine here at Park City High, Mr. Falau at Echo Hill Middle School. Can we give a round of applause for all of our admin and all they do for the kids? This does not happen without amazing community support. And yes, Mr. Taylor is an amazing teacher, and I love that I get to work with these kids every day. But even he will say that this does not happen without them. So anything you can do to email them, just spread the positive word of what music is doing for our school and our community, please do it. All right, well, I'm yapping way too much. I'm talking too much. So I told you guys to stop me if I do this. Cool. Okay, whatever. Okay, we are going to go ahead and move on to our next tune, which features Henry Armentrout. That's called Pure Emotion. Again, that was Pure Emotion featuring Henry Armentrout, and we also had Tanner Antonori do a little bit of a solo there. You will also notice jazz is a dialogue, and jazz is all about teaching the kids to perform and listen to each other. And it's really cool listening to our rhythm section, listen to the soloist, and bounce ideas. Like you hear Jem doing stuff on the guitar with Henry, you hear Grant and Gwen responding on the piano, you hear the bass players doing stuff. It's a dialogue, and it's really cool to have students who can do that. So thank you for putting kids in private lessons. Thank you for encouraging them to practice. Thank you for, again, what we do here hopefully supports what you do at home. We have one last tune, which is really sad. I know, I see the sad looks in the audience, but I can barely see. It's wonderful. Okay, we are gonna go ahead and end out the tune with a blast. This is called 2 Seconds to Midnight, but I have to say one thing. JV, intro, I love you dearly. You are not allowed to leave until you help clean up the stage. Can you do that for me? Say yes. See, look, we teach your kids good life lessons. It's great. All right. We love teaching kids to clean things. All right, so JV, intro, and varsity, make sure, wait, you will clean, right? The static on the guitar is concerning. All right, here we go. We're going to do 2 Seconds to Midnight.